PowerPoint makes it very easy to add standard shapes like circles or squares to your slides. With a variety of standard shapes available for you to choose from, right on the Home tab. Adding a non-standard shape, however, is a bit less intuitive. What if you want to insert a shape that's a combination of two or more standard shapes? That's where the Merge Shape function comes in. Suppose that you want to create a shape that's a combination of a circle and a square. Start by inserting a circle and then a square to your slide. Next, position the shapes by dragging each one into place. When you're happy with the positioning, select both shapes and navigate to the Shape Format tab. To the left, you'll see the Insert Shapes function group. This is where you'll find the Merge Shapes function. When you click on the Merge Shapes function, you'll see that you have 5 different options to choose from. To illustrate how these functions work, let's make 5 copies of our circle and square shapes. A quick way to do this is to select both shapes, and hold down the Ctrl and Shift keys while dragging the elements to a new position. Repeat this 3 more times. The first Merge Shapes option is Union. When you make a union of your shapes, PowerPoint removes all of the overlapping areas and basically welds the shapes together. You can see the effect of this function more clearly when you give your shapes an outline. The next Merge Shapes option is Combine. Combining shapes results in the removal of the overlapping areas. The third Merge Shapes option is Intersect. Merging shapes in this fashion results in only the overlapping area being preserved. Next we have Subtract. Think of the Subtract option as PowerPoint's way to cut away a portion of one shape by using the other shape as the cutter. This is basically the same principle as a cookie cutter. To use the Subtract option, you need to select your shapes in a specific order. Using the cookie cutter analogy, first select your cookie dough, which is your first shape, then select your cookie cutter, which is your second shape, and finally click on Subtract. If you want to cut a circular hole in your square, select the square which represents your cookie dough, then select your circle which represents your cookie cutter, and then click on Subtract. The final Merge Shapes option is Fragment. Fragment uses the overlapping areas as cutting lines, breaking your shape up into multiple new shapes. The Merge Shapes function is a great tool to create custom shapes on the fly by using PowerPoint's built-in standard shapes. If you want to tweak your shape a little bit more after you have merged your shapes together, you can right-click on the shape and select Edit Points. This will give you even more control over the shape's contours. Although we used basic shapes to explain how the Merge Shapes function works, you can apply this function to various other combinations of elements, such as merging pictures and shapes, merging shapes and text, or merging text and pictures. Let's have a quick look at 2 of these examples, starting with merging shapes and pictures. Start by inserting a picture, as well as a shape to your slide. The order in which you select the picture and the shape is important when you want to apply the Merge Shapes function to these elements. Remember the cookie cutter analogy. Start by selecting your dough, which is the picture in this case, then select your shape, and finally click on one of the Merge Shape options. To cut a hole in your picture, select the Subtract option. Clicking on Intersect uses the shape as a cropping boundary, filling the shape with the portion of the picture that's behind the shape. After you have created your cropped image, you may realize that you cropped the wrong part of the picture. If this is the case, simply select your shape and click on the Picture Format tab. Next, click on the Crop function under the Size function group. You'll see that the entire image appears, with everything, apart from the cropped area, being grayed out. Simply click and drag your image around to crop a different part of the image. Using the Fragment option of the Merge Shapes function on an image and shape results in two objects being formed. The first is a picture with a hole in it. And the second is a picture that has been cropped into the shape. The final feature that's worth going over is using the Merge Shapes function to merge text and pictures. When doing this, you can use your picture to fill your text. Start by inserting a picture. Next, go to the Insert tab and add a text box to your slide. Type something in your text box, but keep it short and stick to a word or two. Next, select your text box and increase your font size. Small font sizes don't work too well, as the resulting text is normally difficult to read, so increase your font size appropriately. The next step is to position the text onto the picture. After you are happy with the positioning, you're ready to apply the Merge Shapes function. Start by selecting your picture, then select your text, and then click on one of the options under the Merge Shapes function. We have now covered the Merge Shapes function, and you are ready to use it to create professional and creative PowerPoint presentations.